Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and there's a link to my coffee account in the description. So if you're able to support the channel that way, then it is greatly appreciated. So today we are getting into a little bit of the meta game by playing some mono black demons. So this is probably the favoured version of this kind of archetype now. You don't see Rakdos nearly as often anymore. Mono black just adds a bit more consistency, and the red really wasn't adding a huge amount to the deck anymore at this point. But we do have a new card to try out, which is generally a card you're only going to run in mono black, which is Archenemy's Charm. So it's one of the triple pip charm cycle, black, for an instant, choose one, exile target creature or planeswalker, return one or two target creature and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand, or put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end of turn. So, like all of the charms, each one of those effects by itself is kind of meh for the mana cost, but it's the versatility, it's the choice of what you want that kind of makes this a powerful card. Unconditional removal in Mode 1, some pretty good card advantage and card selection in Mode 2, and then some anti-aggro life gain tech in Mode 3, which is probably the one we'll use least often. I imagine it'll probably go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in terms of the order that they'll be used. I think the removal is probably the most likely to be used most often. But yeah, all of those modes are potentially good against different decks in the meta. So yeah, pretty good addition from Edge of Eternities. And then, yeah, we've got our Mono Black Demons package around it. I mean, again, this is called Demons. There aren't actually that many demons in it. But yes, the Unholy Annex and the Ritual Chamber is obviously the primary source of card draw. And we do have Blade of the Oni and Mutavault as well, so for some additional demon action, if we do want to turn the Lose 2 into Drain 2. And yeah, then the rest of the deck... Yeah, Gifted Day the Born is kind of one of the boons of playing this in mono black. It's just a really aggressive 2/3 with Death Touch and Lifelink, really hard to attack through. Just adds a huge amount of resilience to the deck. Early interaction, the kind of which you've probably got used to seeing in these decks running black, and then some powerful mid-range threats. So yeah, Graveyard Trespass is a bit back in vogue now. The Ward of Discard a Card continues to be a source of constant annoyance for everyone. And yeah, and it's just good incidental graveyard hate as well. And we got some Shieldred, two copies of Shieldred that combines quite nicely with the Annex, and a couple of Invoke Despairs as well. Yeah, the mana base pretty simple. Mainly swamps, but we've got some Field of Ruin, some Castle Lochthwains, and some Mutavaults. Urborg obviously helps ensure that we have all the black mana we need, as we do have triple black with the Archenemy's Charm, so we do have to be mindful of that. Then in the sideboard, so we got a couple more Duresses, just for those matchups where we want all of the hand disruption we can get. Ghost Vacuum, Unlicensed Hearse, there's our Graveyard Hate. Nowhere to run, just good solid removal, which also shuts off hexproof and ward abilities. Go blank, this is good against certain specific decks like Phoenix. Withering Torment, Extinction Event. Yeah, so Withering Torment's some enchantment removal, which obviously black has historically struggled with. Invoke Despair does do a little bit of that, but much less consistently and not targeted. And then just some mass removal with Extinction Event, Ritual of Soot, and the Meathook Massacre. Yeah, Ritual of Soot instead of Path of Peril, I think just because there are a lot of 3-mana creatures which are quite annoying in the format at the moment. Thinking of things like Screaming Nemesis. So yeah, try Ritual of Soot instead. So yeah, that's the deck, Mono Black Demons. You've probably seen it before, and you'll probably see it again, because it's a pretty good one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let's take it on to the ladder. Okay, let's start. Yeah, 1 mana on 1 land on the play. Not the best. This is a 25 land deck, so this is slightly better. I think we can put back Invoke Despair until we know what we're up against. I suppose it is a good source of card advantage. But yeah, it's a bit of a pipe dream at the moment. Yeah, the client is really fighting me at the moment. I think it's just doing weird things ever since they did the update. Okay, so they're running Phoenix. The Prankster's annoying, but I think Artist Talent is the more immediate threat because it gives them a discard outlet for their Phoenixes. Oh, hello. I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah, so this hand will be quite good if I draw some more land. If I don't, it's absolutely shocking. So 25 lands. Ooh, that's a bad miss. And so is that. Okay, well, looks like we're both stumbling a little out of the gates here. There's 3 of their artist talents gone. Okay, Corey Steelcutter's a good card. So Liliana's pretty bad here, so I think we'll just get Trespasser down. Take a chomp at their graveyard, just make a treasure cruise a little more expensive. I wonder what they're going to do here. They could just hardcast a Phoenix, I suppose. That feels pretty weak. No, that's what they're going to do. Okay, well, that gives us a good turn now, at least, because we can fire up Liliana. Just going to turn down the volume here slightly.
And I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
Liliana's voice line. And we'll get them to sack their Phoenix.
One of your friends has to leave.
And then we'll eat it. Yeah, it's really jumpy, the client, today. I don't know. Yeah. Just misbehaving. I mean, this happens every time they do an update, doesn't it? It breaks it in one way or another. Yeah, these black pips are in a little bit of an annoying spot. What have they done? So I can take down my Liliana here. I'm not hugely fussed about that because I wouldn't be ticking it up anyway, because what's the point of giving them...
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
Okay, Aetherborn's not bad. I do want... I do want access to more black mana, though, so I think I'm going to pop the Field of Ruin. Just take out their steam vents here. It does give them another card in their graveyard, but I don't think we can afford to be too fussy. Yep. Just chew on it a little bit more. So I've now got Charm online. And another land, black land, gives me Invoke Despair as well. Okay, looks like they've got a treasure cruise. It's funny, isn't it? Even 3 mana Treasure Cruise seems so much worse, but like 3 for draw 3 is still a pretty good rate. Yep. Okay, there goes their graveyard at least. I don't think I'm hugely moved to trade with my Aetherborn. That's even if they attack, which they may well not. Yep. Fine, fine for fine. Okay. I think let's hit this with Fatal Push. And we'll go to attacks. Okay. Ditching the Phoenix would be delightful here. Why, thank you. I shall proceed to eat it up. Okay, yeah, this is going reasonably well, but they do have an active steel cutter, so you never want to count your chickens hugely quickly. Or other assorted cliches. 2 steel cutters could potentially be a problem for us here. Yeah, so I'll get 3 tokens now. Yeah, this could be quite a lot of damage coming in. So, how am I going to win from here? With difficulty, I would imagine, but we'll find a way. Okay, so I go to 6. They've definitely got a removal spell here, haven't they? So Trespasser, eat a creature, they go to 10. They then take 5. That is not quite enough for Invoke Despair to kill them, unfortunately. So I think what I do instead is I attack with both of these. I eat my own Trespasser. Now I could try playing Archenemy's Charm on this to give it lifelink. But then if they've got any kind of removal spell. So I go to 9, I've got Mutavault to block, which probably isn't enough against all of those steel cutters, so I think this is kind of how I have to try and win the game. And hope they just don't have a decent removal spell for it. Looks like they do, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, I'm super dead here. Yeah, that was always a likely possibility, but 2 steel cutters is a challenge for sure. Okay, so go blank in, ghost vacuum in, unlicensed hearse in. I think I have to put duress in as well, because, like, how else am I going to deal with steel cutter? And probably Thoughtseize can just come out. Well, Thoughtseize also deals with steel cutter, doesn't it? So let's keep 2 of those in. What feels bad in this matchup? I think Liliana's pretty bad. Shieldred's great. Fatal Push, I think, is just okay, but not brilliant. So maybe trim 2 of those. We'll go from there. Yeah, this'll do. So I think I'm minded to not play her straight away, just for fear of Spell Pierce. Who knows whether they had it or not. That's an aggressive prankster. Okay, well, Hearse can come down. We're not quite at the stage of needing to proactively chomp to avoid treasure cruise. Here we go. It's everyone's idea of a good time. Yeah, this feels a difficult matchup for demons, to be honest. The Corey Steelcutter really is an absolute nightmare for this deck to deal with. Okay, Into the Floodmoor could be worse. They're using it on that, it means they're not using it on other stuff. So yeah, I'll push that, just keep their creatures a little bit under control. Don't really want any more land, to be honest. But it is our lot in life. Yeah, that's a good one too. So is that. No, I'm not going to crew the hearse. It's too risky, I think. If they've got land, another removal spell. Yeah, they don't want their treasure cruisers. That makes sense. Well, there's not much I can do to them here with just a handful of swamps. Well, that is a card, I suppose. Their treasure cruise isn't very interesting, so maybe I'll just take the fiery impulse. So technically they could land cruise here, but I think that's a pretty bad turn, actually. It's fine. Okay, let's respond with hearse. Well, actually, no, we don't need to quite yet, because they're not going to be able to cruise this turn. Okay. Well, I shall fire up my Mutavault. Use it to crew my hearse. Block. Sure thing. Yeah, them not moving the steel cutter is pretty good news here. Phoenix and the other Floodmore can go here. Okay, I think that exchange works out pretty well for us. Well, can't say I'm short of unlicensed hearses. So I think we can proactively chomp with this one, just to make sure we keep their crews off from doing anything. Another steel cutter, eh? That's fun. Okay, well, if they whiff here, they potentially got a chance. Looks like they have. No, of course. What on earth? Oh dear. Okay. I'll just die then, shall I? What a top deck. Yeah, there's not a huge amount I can do about this. It's a really tricky thing to try and deal with, particularly when they draw three of them. Well, they don't want to attack. Okay, well that's a good sign. So we'll keep chomping on their graveyard. Then I think we'll draw with Castle Lochthwain. I really need something like a Shieldred or... Well, I've got the duress, so I may as well use it. Just because it takes all of the cards out of their hand. I mean, you can nice me. You weren't ever playing that Treasure Cruise. Land? Just land. Just land. It's not land, is it? Presumably they're... Yeah, they're destroying these here. Okay, well that's fine. Just get rid of the rest of their graveyard. Destroys the steel cutters as well, which I suppose is at least something. I think I'm just going to have to take the damage here. Then hope that Castle Lochthwain can deliver some goods for us. That ain't it. Wow. What absolutely abysmal. Yeah, it's not been easy this, but I have not been helped by my top decks. It's a bad matchup anyway, but I've just drawn no threats, really. They've all been reactive cards. Like a shield rider, this game would have been over. Okay. All 4 steel cutters. Yeah, it's a problem. Okay. This one will have to do. Either the opponent's not here or they've got a difficult decision. Yeah, this Liliana might be good, depending on what they're playing, or it might be terrible. Yeah, this is definitely a 7 we're going to have to keep. A 6, rather. Okay, they did rock up eventually. It's quite hard to record against opponents who play like this. Okay. Do I want Liliana here? I don't think so. I think we could just have another Aetherborn. We'll wait till they play a creature for Liliana. Although I suppose if I start ticking it up, that kind of presents them a threat they do have to answer. Jesus. Gonna be one of those games, is it? It's not like I need all these swamps.
When I win, you're telling me what you know that. You won't be outsmarting me.
So it looks like your opponent's also on mono black. Oh no, they're playing the rogues deck. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I wanted both of those, really. I'll probably just draw a land now. Three cards in graveyard, so Thieves Guild isn't turning on anytime soon. Okay, okay. See, I knew it.
Got my attention.
I knew that would happen.
Sacrifices must be made.
Trevor DK25. It's not only my time you're wasting, it's hundreds of people who watch my channel. Wow, what a choice. Who would have seen that coming? Okay, that takes us to 8 cards in graveyard. I'm not normally this snarky, but honestly, this person woke up and chose violence today.
Knew this was a waste of time.
Yeah, this isn't going very well, unfortunately. I've drawn very badly. Jesus Christ, I think I'm going to die. Yeah, not having an answer to this Nighthawk is a serious problem, given the multitude of different card types in my graveyard. Okay, snagging into the store is pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to need some good top decks here if I'm going to survive this. Or maybe one of us will die of old age before the end of this match. Who's to say? kind of done with that Archenemy's charm, to be honest. Okay, they've drawn some sort of ninjutsu card by the look of it. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, they top decked like a beast. I did not. So, rogues. I think nowhere to run is pretty good here. It cleanly answers almost all of their creatures. It's a shame, actually. My deck looks pretty good against what they're doing. But yeah, that was not a good showcase of hands. Maybe stick in one more Duress in place of a Liliana. Yeah, maybe Liliana's too bad here. Maybe I want Ritual of Soot instead. Okay. My goodness, they've come alive. Gonna need another land. Yep. Okay, well, that's one land off. At least the next one wasn't a land, I suppose. Fair enough. It's generally customary to attack at this point. It's not a land. Okay, I think. Oh, just hit them with a Thoughtseize instead. Yeah. So Drown in the Lock can deal with my Annex if I eventually get to cast it. So yeah, maybe I'll. Apologies about that. We're still on. My laptop had a moment. Yep, take Drown in the Lock. Everything seems very high definition now. Take down, take down the Enforcer. That'll stop them attacking for a turn. There's two more cards that aren't lands. That's also not a land. Okay. This is my life now. What's that? 14 cards, 3 lands. Yep. All good, all good. Yes, it's an Aetherborn. You've seen them before. It's two more cards that aren't lands. That's a land. Okay, so they can bounce this back to my hand, but I'm kind of fine if that's what they spend their turn doing. Don't really want to see that, to be honest. Okay, maybe they'll just go super aggressive here instead. No, okay. That'll give me it back. Feel my life force slipping away in real time. Yeah, it's quite awkward in terms of mana. I don't really want to play a Unholy Annex now. My life total's not really high enough. So I could just pass with Fatal Push and Charm available, because I could always charm back a couple of things from my graveyard. I think I'm going to have to use it proactively now. So yeah, let's exile the Brazen Borrower. At least preserves my life total for a little bit longer. Yeah, okay. Let's play a little fast and loose with our life. Because, frankly, I want this match to be over anyway. Like, if they don't have a flash creature here, it's possible I might be alright. Yeah, I'm super dead. Okay, no, that was just awful in terms of the way we drew cards there. Oh dear, it's not going very well. Also, that opponent was an arse. It's slightly awkward in terms of the black mana pips, but we got Thoughtseize, we got an Annex. I think it's probably fine. Okay, looks like potentially a control deck here. Yes, indeedy. Okay. Oh, they're still running Memory Deluge. Ba-ba-bum. The Wandering Emperor is the most threatening card here. Play this as a tap land as I'm not doing anything else. Annex is probably good here. They might have drawn a counter spell. Yep. My ability to predict what the opponent has drawn continues to have no rival. Okay, no immediate removal spell. We like that. Yes, I spy your Wandering Emperor, and it doesn't impress me. Shock.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people. Our swords will cross again.
Okay, Shieldred's still chomping away at their life total here, so it seems decent. Obviously, I only have lands now in my hand, which is a problem. More lands, huh? Okay, I'll draw with Castle Lochthwain. And I'll draw another land. That's fun. I think I'm going to assume they don't have a third Emperor. Your Honor, they had a third Emperor. Okay.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it. This is what you get for hurting my people. Show them how we greet our
And a Teferi as well. Okay, well, we're pretty dead. Yep, 9 lands. What's that, 10 lands? Yep. Okay, we'll put Duress in. Go for the throat out. Don't want anything else. I think this is fine. Yeah, right. I'm kind of over this this particular recording. I think it's not. It's just been a fairly miserable experience. Okay, Liliana gives us some game on turn 3. I think I'll ditch the duplicate Mutavault here.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Yeah, we may be able to tick up Liliana to a point where it becomes quite threatening. Yeah, the board's not bad. So yeah, play an Aetherborn. Fine.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Well, that gives me a couple of map tokens to use anyway. I don't think so. Can do better. Yep. No Supreme Verdict anyway. With those manners. Manners. Got terrible manners. I suppose they could shuffle away my Thoughtseize here, but they don't want to. That's fine. I'll just use it against them instead. It's actually quite good because I can now castle Lochthwain. So let's see their hand. Yeah, so I'll take Verdict. I'll draw with the castle. And now they're dead. They're one turn away from dead. Yeah, they're not going to survive this. Okay, cool. Yep, draw our way out of a problem there. I think we keep it broadly the same. Yep. Yeah, this is a decent 7. For the first time, I feel like it's a decent 7. They have not, however, kept a decent 7, and that Unholy Annex is a heck of a top deck. Cool, yep, I was going to say, I probably would have just done the Annex anyway, but at least this way we know they don't have a counterspell, and now I've got some card draw running. Perfect. I got a card out of it. They've used all their mana. So now they are only one turn away from farewell, but I still think it's worth playing the Shieldred. It's a pretty spicy top deck. So yeah, let's start by looking for the obvious Emperor that they've got in their hand. Ooh, it's a Test of Talents. Okay. Well, I'll tell you for nothing, that's not a Wandering Emperor. That much we know. So they go to 8. They draw and go to 6. They can then wipe the board with Farewell. Presumably. A shame they didn't have to shock there. Okay. Oh, I can't draw with Castle Lochthwain. That's quite annoying. Yeah, no, this mana has not turned out great. If I If I fire off the Field of Ruin, can I do it? No, not quite. Okay. So I'm missing out on a card here. It's fine. So I think I'll use the Field of Ruin anyway, just to blow up one of their anchorages. Just so I've got enough black mana and to thin my deck slightly. So if I draw like an Invoke Despair here, then we're laughing all the way to the bank, because it'll just kill them off the bat. That's not it. Okay, well, let's attack them down to 4. I've got... Yeah, Takanuma's not great here, I don't think. So maybe I'm just using Lochthwain. Just need myself an Invoke Despair, really. Now, if they fire up the anchorage, am I killing it? I don't think I am. I don't think I can let them attack me for one turn. I'd rather have the card. Okay, Yorian's a different calculation, I think. I think I will just kill that Archenemy's charm. Okay, no stick there, which was interesting. So I'll try and attack them down to 2, which I think I can. Yep. Okay, and now I've got Lochthwain and Takanuma as potential options. Do they have the mana to... Yeah, they can activate this, but I can kill it. I think I'll play Takanuma now. So let's start with Liliana. Then I think I'll fire up the Mutavault.
The mysteries. I've come for answers.
Babadum. Okay. That's kind of fine. So they can sack that now. And I'll play Aetherborn. Okay, that's an answer to Aetherborn. Doesn't solve their problem in the long run, so let's make them discard.
We all have things we'd
I'll draw a card. Play another Aetherborn. Yeah, they're flying by the seat of their pants here. Okay. His trespass is pretty good, so do this in the right order, shall we? So they don't have any creatures, so I'll just chew one of my own. So they go to 1.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Draw, just a swamp, which we can play. You dead yet?
Watch it.
It seems not. Okay, yeah, they're dead. Super dead. Okay, good. I recovered from my snark a little bit there. After we started drawing slightly more tolerable opening hands. So yeah, that was Mono Black Demons. Remains a pretty potent deck, I think. The Archenemy's Charm was pretty good, actually. It had a lot of versatility. It's a shame it didn't quite come off against the Phoenix player, but I think that's just a horrific matchup for this deck anyway. If you do, the only answer you really have is Shieldred, and if you don't draw that or they kill it, then you're in just kind of a world of trouble. Corey Steelcutter just hoses this really hard. But yeah, pretty good on the whole. Archenemy's Charm. Yeah, some close games, but yeah, did good work. And just being a clean answer to a lot of stuff is an Exile is pretty good anyway. 3 mana's a bit more than you want to be paying for that kind of effect, but yeah, I think the versatility is probably worth it. Right, so here's the deck list one more time. It's in the description as usual, so let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe as ever, and contribute to the coffee account if you can. Yeah, that's the other thing. And yeah, see you next time.